right, you should be good to go.
Okay. Looks good. So we can call the meeting to order. It is 7:01. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Davey. Commissioner Gillen.
Here?
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Marissa Lindsay.
Here.
Commissioner Paul Lindsay.
Here.
Chairman Rennie.
Here.
Commissioner Rosen. Commissioner Rossini Lapierre.
Here.
Commissioner Stam. And Commissioner Gallagher.
Here.
Thank you, all set.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have an election of officers, our yearly election. We are going to pick a chairperson, a vice chairperson, and a secretary. Do we have any motions for chairperson?
Motion for Deanna Rainey as chair?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any discussion?
You should ask for other nominations too, just to make sure that there is that before you.
Thank you,
actually take the vote.
Eric.
First time we've done this.
Yeah.
Yes, so let's back it up. Any other nominations? Hearing none. Any discussion? Do we do discussion next?
You don't have to do discussion unless you can just do a vote.
Thank you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Wonderful. I will be your chairperson for another year. Can I have a motion for a vice chair? Can I do that?
You can, yes, you can.
Okay, I motion for Tiffany to be vice chair.
I second that motion.
Any other nominations? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful.
Thank you, everybody.
And last, secretary.
Any recommendations?
Anybody here want to do that?
Anyone like to be the secretary? I'm going to nominate Kathy Rossini
And I'm gonna
LaPierre
second that
to be
nomination.
secretary.
Ironically.
It'll be teamwork. Okay.
Let's vote.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I could oppose it for that.
Okay. It's a tough race, but you beat them. Okay, setting of regular meeting dates for 2025. Eric.
So these are the meeting dates that fall on the first Wednesday of the month. One or two may have been adjusted for holidays. I don't think so for this calendar.
Yeah, actually, January 1st is a Wednesday.
Right. And we already have it, we've already set a meeting, because you see, we always set the one for the following year. So last year, we already set one for 2025. It's not on we
Okay.
moved it. I can't remember what the date is, but we'll have one in January.
Got it.
I'd have to look.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
approved the 2026 date.
You
this
approved the
time.
first, yeah,
Got
and this one got, yeah.
So the 26 date is January 7th,
January
just so
7th.
everybody knows.
Okay.
Tuesday, January 7th?
2026.
Oh, so we wrap around to the beginning of.
Correct.
Yeah,
So we're
we always
approving.
set the first meeting in the following year.
Gotcha.
That way, so we don't.
So
run into this.
interesting. No,
Okay.
Yeah.
it's smart.
So these are them. This is the time frame. Going forward, I can look to see if there are other days and meeting times available for next year to see if you want to try and adjust that. They typically don't like to move them around, but the time might be flexible.
Okay.
If you guys are amenable to meeting earlier.
So it was
Yeah.
brought up to possibly meet at 6 instead of 7. Is anyone opposed to that?
No. Right now, they'll have to be at 7 until I can look into see
Yeah.
what the, yeah.
So
what
like
that
this
is.
doesn't apply for our next meeting type of a
No,
thing?
just a
Right, right.
conversation.
Right.
And are we looking into Mondays or no?
I can try, I'll have to take a look.
It's on the calendar.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be great. Again, just for information.
Just to have options. So if changing it to Mondays, would anybody be against that at all?
impact anything significant? Okay.
Hunter, are you okay with that?
Same, pretty much.
Yeah, Mondays is good for me. I typically go into office Tuesday, so that would be the only day that would be tough if we did push it earlier.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
Good to keep in mind. Yeah, Tuesday seems like it's off.
Off the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah,
table.
Tuesdays, we have conservation meetings once a month. We have council, obviously at least twice a month. And there's also special meetings involved. Wednesdays is planning and zoning, and Thursdays is zoning board of appeals. So those are all land use boards. So they kind of, and then all the other boards, they kind of work in.
I wonder if they avoid Mondays because of all the holidays.
Probably.
It is really, I'm on the youth adult council and we
Yep.
meet once a month on a Monday and it's a little tough.
There's one almost every month.
Mhm.
It's, yeah.
All right, maybe we will, okay.
So it just depends. And if we're once a month as well, I think,
Oh, that's true. It's
I don't
not every
know.
week.
Why don't you look into it and get
Take a
back to
quick
us?
look,
and
see, but right now you're up to, this is gonna be your schedule for 2025.
Okay,
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
okay. We're all good with that?
Yes.
Can we get an approval of the minutes? Can
You
I
should
get a
go ahead and-
motion?
You should also actually adopt the meeting dates.
Oh, adopted.
Oh, do we
Yeah,
need to vote
yeah.
that in?
You should, yep.
Can
You
I
should
get a
just-
motion for the 2025
you go.
proposed EDC meeting schedule?
Motion for for scheduled 2025.
I'll second that motion.
Wonderful. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Okay,
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, now we can do an approval of minutes from our last meeting. Can I have a motion for approval of minutes?
Motion for approval.
Wonderful. Any second?
Anybody else want a second down there?
Second.
I know, we're awful quick. up here.
We're not messing around.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful. First up, we have public participation. We also have this at the end, so you don't have to talk now if you don't want. Okay. Anyone else on Zoom?
No one on Zoom has their hand raised.
Okay. Next line item is the Chamber of Commerce report.
So I have to apologize. I have a brand new hip. I have been out of circulation for about 3 weeks and I have no idea what's going on. So.
Mr. Executive Vice President, Jim, would you like to fill
wanna
in
give us
at
a
all?
brief?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a few new members, obviously the new Blaze Pickle.
If you'd like to come up and go and speak to the mic, just if we're gonna
So
be
people
going
It's a
back.
little
just to
better,
get it-
people
Yep.
online, and
So when you do that, you
this
have
way
to
you
say your
can tell
name
us
and
what you guys
address.
got going on.
Name and address, please, sir.
Yes, sir.
Social security card.
Social Security.
Jim Wiltshire, Executive Vice President, Chamber of Commerce. Good to be here tonight. Thank you very much. No, yeah, we've got a few new members, so that's a great thing. I want to say it wrong, but Robo is a physical therapy over behind Geico. And they've just come on board this week, so we're really excited about the growth the chamber is. And a few of us have been from the chamber are getting involved with the downtown steering committee for the revitalization of
Master
downtown.
plan.
The master plan for downtown, and that's one of the reasons I'm here today. I just want to keep myself educated and familiar with what's going on. So glad to be here. But the chamber's really happy to be seeing some growth and some new business coming to town.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our old business, we have our passports.
Still the active business.
It is out, it is live. I have a few little things I jotted down. So one thing that I have taken away so far to make sure to remember for next year is people are asking for more time.
Yeah.
They would like 3 to 4 weeks because they
To get
want to
them
get
on
to
the
as
slides.
many as they possibly can. I know some people have outdone themselves and have gotten all of them. We have a few
Yeah.
full passports, which is awesome. But maybe we do think about doing maybe 2 weekends in November and then the first 2 weekends in December.
I think that's a great
Um,
idea.
Even though I think announcing it at the Night of Lights is awesome, but maybe we can figure another way to do the announcement and everything.
I agree.
So, yeah. I went around on Tuesday and purchased gift certificates from most of the restaurants that were on there. And people seemed very happy with the turnout.
It was very funny. I was in Turgeon's new store,
Which is beautiful.
which is beautiful, and somebody came in to have his thing stamped. And it's just,
Oh.
it was funny to witness, and he had so many already. It was kind of cool. And it was somebody I didn't expect to be going from business to business.
So people started early.
Okay.
People started a couple days before, so I hadn't even gotten to Turgeon with his stamp, and he was like stamping it with like his letter returner mail stamp or something. I'm like, oh my God. So
That's good.
people
It
were
was well
definitely excited
received.
about it. And I think next year, to get the word out and, we already have different ideas of how to make it look and how to advertise it better. But I think that it's been really great. I don't really see any downside to it. It's not like it.
I think the
um,
only feedback I've gotten
Yeah.
is on the website next year. I think we should add all the businesses and their hours that they're opened. For me, a yoga studio that's not open all the time and the fire station,
Mm.
there was some, you know what I mean? I
So my
think-
other idea about that, because that's a lot for us to print, but like you said
Like
on the
on the
website,
website.
but still for us to like get, it's kind
Yeah,
of a lot.
but it's just.
But
like-
maybe we can do a code.
Those secretaries can probably do stuff like that.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, snap.
But maybe we can do like a code or something so that if you're not there, they can write jingle bells or so. I don't
Yeah.
don't
Oh, okay,
know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to be there and have people come in, but even like I was feeling bad, like the fire,
The firehouse.
they're really not there very often. So it was really just for us to kind of,
Include
keep them in the
Well,
loop
I
and
had
everything, which is
different thoughts
nice.
about it. I went back and forth, but it was a good try. Maybe it's not important.
No, I think it's great,
Okay.
but maybe we do just have like a little sticker on the door of some places that would want to do something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Not like a QR code, because we don't have all that technology and stuff.
No, I
but
think a
just
sticker,
to-
I think something like that, because if we
write
leave the
in-
stamp, someone's gonna snag the stamp.
Yeah.
So,
Right,
but yeah, I think there's something to,
we can
again,
figure something.
table it
out.
and.
Yes.
So here's the question, when should we bring it back around to discuss for next year? It sounds like we need to do it earlier, so maybe July?
For us to
August?
start talking about it, absolutely.
Well, we don't need as
Absolutely.
much time as this year. You had to design it this year, but yeah.
Well, we might have to redesign it next year too,
Okay.
depending on how many more, if we get more businesses, we have to go to a different side.
Yeah, so lovely Beth at Pronto was
Yes.
like, guys, if I put one more letter on this thing, it's going to the back. She was
Yeah.
like threatening us, like, that's it. This is 2 pages. So we definitely could have more to work with next year.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
awesome.
And maybe it's something that we include more Newington landmarks, like a firehouse that could have like a code on it. Like we have like an Imo Jima memorial, like maybe we
Yeah.
got, I don't know, as
Yeah.
great as again, we don't want to get away from the point of it, but at the same time, it's nice to make it like an explore Newington.
Literally.
Yeah, you could put some historical and cultural
Yeah.
locations on there.
Exactly, right?
Maybe we could leave one, it would be neat to leave one at the little waterfall.
At the waterfall,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
That would be kind of cool.
We could do
But-
little fun stuff like that. Even little things like the skate park that like some people don't know Newington has.
Yeah.
And like just little things like that.
Yeah,
So,
agreed.
Almost like a scavenger hunt, go looking for the code.
Yeah.
There is something, what is that called, where you go through, you have a compass and usually you can find them in the woods?
Orienteering.
Is that what it's called?
What?
There's another
Yeah,
name for
There's
it.
another name for it.
You're talking about
kind of-
geocaching?
Oh, you're talking about like
Say it again?
Geocaching?
geocaching,
Yeah.
Geocaching,
geocaching.
yeah.
Oh, like Pokemon Go?
Uh,
Maybe like that?
People
Like
like
that, but
stuff,
very different.
but people leave stuff for you
Yeah.
to find.
That's
like
what
it-
Right.
Pokemon Go is.
Well, sort of, yes, yes. yes.
Little different.
You have little ones around you. You have your nephews.
Oh, they're just getting into Pokemon. Okay. So I think very good things, you know, just a couple things that we can.
It's nice
learn
that it's
from
been
and
that
move
well
forward.
received. That's cool.
I think it has been. We didn't go around collect yet, but I have 4 that have gotten dropped off at Karma's and about 10 I know of that are at the library.
And I posted on social today, like, hey,
So I'm sure
Tomorrow by
people are gonna be
5.
dropping it off tomorrow
Hopefully, yeah.
too, so.
I'll stop the library tomorrow.
But either way, I know that dozens of more people were out there doing it. They may not have dropped it, you know,
Yeah.
so all worthwhile. Okay, so that's the passport. Anything else with that?
Any other suggestions
Yes, any other suggestions?
regarding the passport?
But yes, good to bring up, for July. How does that work, Eric? Like if there's certain is that what our secretary has to keep track of? Of like when we
Sure, you just, you
bring
know,
that back up?
yeah. Just, you know,
Ask
June,
us.
say, hey,
Ask
just a
us.
reminder, you know, put that back on the agenda for
Yeah.
us.
okay,
For, you
gotcha.
know, starting in July.
Yeah,
Gail looks like you.
We
I
can
saw a
all
thought
remember
bubble.
that.
I saw a thought bubble, Gail.
yes.
So you're not gonna wait till July to do your briefing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Might consider also, asking feedback from the business.
Mm-hmm.
They have suggestions.
Yeah,
For improvements.
Yep.
it sounds like a good amount of people were confused.
Mhm.
At some points, but once you read it, it's not that hard, but I think maybe something like a cover letter to leave with some business owners. Cause I did get a full report from a couple people, but
Sorry, I forgot. He was hanging around.
yeah,
oh, good.
yeah,
That's brilliant.
yeah, we printed 3,000 passports. So we had them, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I'm anxious to see how many we get back.
Yeah.
Don't, yeah.
We'll just
So
say,
that's,
you
that's
know,
an evening.
So we
sit down.
printed 3,000 so that, because we had 36 businesses, so we wanted to make sure that everyone had a good amount. So
At least.
it was a little less than 100, but yeah. Yeah, we're a little more informal here, if you haven't noticed.
I will say that my observation
Yes,
was, and it's nothing against the program, I'm for the program.
Mhm.
But it was more of a scavenger hunt for us. We didn't get a lot of purchases.
right,
We got a lot of people running in, getting a stamp, running out the door,
Without
Yeah.
spending any money.
with not spending any money.
But there,
Yep.
so here's the,
But we got the exposure.
yes,
Which
Correct.
we appreciate.
yes.
So here's what we've been saying, Deanna, and I said to everyone, it's totally up to you if you wanted to offer a coupon or a special. So maybe next year, we're gonna do it again. This time it's gonna be a month. So maybe you have
10% off or a
a
free cup of
dollar
coffee.
off. Hey, you're here. Do you want $1? You know?
We're doing that with the Christmas light thing that's coming up, so.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so just an idea, like anyone was open to doing that. But
Yeah.
I think that's what we've been saying is like the growing pains of like, all right, next year we can tweak it. And I think the cover letter idea honestly is a great idea.
Yeah, I
Just
just
so we're
heard back
clear.
from a few people, like,
Yeah.
so we do a lot of touches, right, with these businesses. So first we go around and ask them if they want to be on it. Then, we may or may not get a yes that day. So then we're going back, right? Then a week later, we're going back with the passports
And the stamps.
and the stamps. And then I just went back again to the 10 restaurants that were on there and bought those. So each time I've been contacted with different people, right? Like it's not like I'm usually the one that's there at Karma's. So I think leaving something for them to
Oh,
explain to
because it's
other
not always the
people.
same person.
Yeah.
It's not always
Yep.
the same person. So even though, you know, it could have been the woman at King Donut that you spoke to, and then I went in there and there was a guy, like, so you just want to make sure that they understand the whole thing.
Here's a stupid thought, but if.
But yeah, I was giving little goodie bags that I had made up with like a nail file and a little chocolate as like a little thanks for coming. Just so, because there were people that were running around, you know, kind of in a rush. So this way they're taking something away at the same time. But
Oh, that's a good idea. And maybe putting some of those ideas on that letter, you
Yes.
know, $1 off coupon or whatever we can kind of come up with, so.
Exactly. And maybe some of those things we can even print on the passport next year if we get our together.
Yeah,
Mhm.
stuff,
Nice filter.
stuff together.
That was a,
That was a beep. That was a bleep. I
It
heard
was
that.
just stuff. It was just good.
all right. Moving on, we still do have the EDC sponsored
You
business
want that
forum.
off, right?
Well,
Or,
you know, I looked at it and I said, I thought we were taking that off, but then I think it was you that said maybe we should keep it on with this whole master plan thing going on because we may,
okay.
no?
I-
Isn't that why we decided to
Yes.
keep it on there?
You're correct.
Thank you.
Okay.
So it is kind of a good second for me to just say real quick, as the chairperson for the EDC, I am on the master plan committee, which is very exciting. We had our first little meeting. Not little, it was 2.25 hours and it was very good and very detailed. Looking forward to more, but they do want to hear from absolutely every single person in town if they possibly can. So the next event that they will be at is Friday, at the Newington Night of Lights. They will have a booth. I'm assuming it's gonna be near the Mary Market. Does anybody know?
I believe
where?
it is, yes.
Okay. The Mary Market is gonna be set up. Thank you. Good. That was great. That was good segue. Like we planned it. So the Mary Market's gonna be set up in front of Carvel, the parking lot, cause that whole part of Main Street's gonna be shut down.
Okay.
At what time do we know?
I
I,
think it's
think it's-
5.
at least, it's
I
at
think
least,
it's 3.
it's probably
I
earlier.
start setting up at 3. Setup is 3 to 5.
It's probably earlier just so they can make sure they get everybody out of there, cause,
Yeah.
and whatnot, so. I
Or
would say
at least they're shutting down the parking lot at
Correct.
3. Maybe they're not doing the street.
They're closing it, so nobody else is going in, so they have people that are there
Right.
doing stuff have time to
So
leave.
you could be right. Maybe it is 5 for the street.
Yeah.
That would make sense. So they're gonna set up the Mary Market. It's about 12 vendors, I believe.
Wow.
And we'll be set up, right in that parking lot in front of Carvel. And it's local crafters, like most of, pretty much, the ones that I know that are gonna be there setting up are from Newington. Handmade stuff, so get excited.
Flicker?
But I'm bringing Flicker,
Oh.
actually, my Karma's table, yes.
Okay.
That's candles.
Oh,
So, okay, wait, where did I go with that? So talk to them at the Mary Market at the Newington Night of Lights. If you would like to give them any information on the master plan, we want to know what you like about downtown, what you don't like about downtown, what businesses you care about that are downtown that you feel are important to Newington, the businesses that you wish we had downtown. That's pretty
Pretty much
it.
anything,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna list anything that people have to say.
Yes,
your
Oh, and
vision
they're
for
gonna-
Newington.
your vision for Newington, because keep in mind, at the end of this, the Hartford Healthcare Campus is going to be for sale, and that could potentially double the size of our downtown.
Mm.
So we have a lot of opportunity available.
What is the, well, is that the right time to ask you that question?
Well, go ahead.
Yeah. What is the timeline for that? Have you heard anything about when that's going back up for sale or up for sale?
I can discuss that more under the town planning update if
Okay,
you'd like.
Perfect. Okay, so why don't we move forward, because that was something that we just kind of extended off of. So we may have more EDC sponsored business forum situations with the master plan going on.
Yeah.
The-
Just also to plug on Monday, it's new report, but the consultant is gonna have a meeting for a town hall at 6:30. That they're inviting the public to discuss the master plan.
This coming Monday?
This
Oh,
coming
excellent,
Monday.
good.
So,
I'd like to be there. for that.
Yes, we're doing that.
And what, that was 6 or 6:30? 6:30, and that's here, town hall?
Mhm.
It's actually on that website.
Mhm.
That's the date, the schedule is on.
Yep.
The downtown.
Perfect. Okay, we do have some new business. The Hobby Odyssey. Are you able to bring the doc up?
Bring my phone
Let me see. what I
That's what I
can
out to my car. Did you leave it in the ladies' room?
Or do I have it in my,
do. Yeah, if you give me a minute, I'll be able to bring it up.
okay,
Somebody can fill the dead air.
I'm trying to read this.
No.
Okay, here we go.
What else we got going on?
Okay, so this was sent to myself from Jonathan Galligan. And I'm just gonna read down. So
It's up on the screen.
thank you. So he had an idea for some social community engagement and awareness. The objective of this is to have the EDC sponsor and support local businesses specialized in hobbies through in-person gatherings, developing community networks and fostering awareness of hobbies/local business. So participating business ideas would be like tabletop shop, Bolorama or Hoffman Guns, and outlining this. So Tiff, do you want to explain this a little bit?
You want me to?
No, okay, never mind.
Do you want me to explain it?
Yes,
There you go.
That's to say.
Yeah.
right here.
I hope I'm not that forgettable.
No,
We just tend to be very chatty.
Yes.
No worries. So, interestingly enough, I think during the election, I think there was a lot of information and talk about people feeling excluded and the general feeling from the population, especially younger people, that there was just no sense of belonging, no sense of community, no sense of attachments to anything local or any, hobbies or anything, in a physical space. Everything feels like it's very online. So, kind of trying to think of what could be done to bridge that gap. And kind of, what am I a part of that I could help on that, as well as, what does Newington have in abundance? I think looking at some of our businesses, some of our shops that do, just those hobby things like bowling and, the tabletop shop, Hoffman Guns and that, as well as I know I talked to Gary Turco and he had mentioned the pickleball courts that are opening up, axe throwing and everything like that, and trying to see if there's a way that we could combine the EDC to kind of sponsor this hobby odyssey, basically a month-long campaign where they would partner with a specific hobby or in shop within one of those shops, and kind of work with them kind of through almost like an achievement catalog that people would go and we would help sponsoring and marketing, and through this achievement catalog, people would go there and try to get achievements through participation in events. And I put kind of an example, which I think hopefully serves it a little bit better, almost like from Bolorama. You could potentially have two tracks where you have newcomers, people trying to get into this hobby, trying to get into this new experience. And they could, based on these achievements and what they're able to do, posting on social media for games that they go to, frequency of games, encouraging other people to come and attend, as well as there could be a track for experienced members, people who are already go there, people who are already participating in these businesses, try to see if they could collaborate between newcomers and themselves for achievements and accomplishments, try to put a little bit of a competition to it, and kind of through this month-long idea of having these almost an extension of what the passport was, but like make it a month-long endeavor, like what you're talking about, but kind of a little bit more scaled to almost kind of like, for me, my mindset is almost like video gaming when you're looking at accomplishments and trophies. And seeing if you could do something like that with the hobbies in town and those businesses, sponsoring them, pairing with them to collaborate on getting that done. I think that would be an interesting idea. And if it could be done, if it could be marketed well, hopefully too, is it's not necessarily designed in a way that it's going to get everybody into one hobby, but if it can be matched as a simple of a template that could be paired over hobbies and businesses in town, repeated over years as it needed. But because the template would be hopefully simple enough and adaptable enough and intuitive enough that people who introduce themselves to it, even if they don't like the hobby, they might be able to say the template was simple enough. I could do it as another hobby that's for another business in town. So I think that transition might be easy too. I know we're in abundance of shops and stuff like that, but I don't think there's a lot of cross between them. And I think this presents a potential for that. So that was the idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
I like it.
I have, and maybe Jonathan does too, I know the owners of Tabletop Gaming over there. I'm sure they would be very interested. Not that,
Yeah.
they're pretty busy. If you guys haven't been over there
They
on
are.
Friday
They are.
night, that place is hopping. It
Yeah.
really is. They do quite a business.
They're expanding and I think they're growing their 40K armies. I think they're doing something with that, I know. So but yeah, something like that collaborative, that approach, but bringing something, a template like that for that already engaged community that could be then copy and pasted as a template for another hobby, another business that could somewhat transition and kind of hopefully kind of bring or mix together those two
Yeah,
populations.
and you could,
potentially.
and this is just me talking, it's other hobbies too. So, maybe you get, a sewing circle involved as well, or something like that. That's,
painting group or a-
yeah, different kinds
Even
of
a
hobbies.
book club with the library. I mean, there's so many things that can really
Yeah.
spin off of this idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think the main thing is just trying to bring in a belonging and a collaboration between. So like, try not to have the siloing that we always see online and stuff like that by having somewhat of a physical spaces where people can go to and cross collaborate between. So the hope.
Like,
You mean like meeting up? Is that like is that an app?
People say, hey, anybody who wants to go for a walk around, meet up.
Hmm.
So is it in terms of supporting business plus social?
It is, yeah, it's both, yeah. And the idea is it would be tied around the events and achievements associated that would be kind of paired with that business so that you would be able to do like those newcomer achievements and stuff like that by being able to post your bowling scores, your number of strikes, and being able to see in that newcomer track amongst newcomers who are participating in that. You can expand it as much as you want between that, but I think it allows kind of that camaraderie where there's a single month-long event where people are participating and getting involved. And, I think people are already experienced, people are already go there. They can look forward to that kind of infusion of newcomers and support, as well as their own specific track of experienced veterans and their own accomplishments and everything. That would be a little bit separate, but I think the idea is, yeah, just trying to create belonging is the hope with that, but along with businesses that we have. Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of how we would kick it off, or are you more so thinking of like picking a month, making that
So, I mean,
the month, and then we figure out.
well, I would definitely want to talk to businesses in town to see what their ideas are and to see, like, build around them. But I think for our part, what would be the priority for us is building that copy paste template that could be kind of moved between business to business, as well as kind of somewhat being that think tank that would morph the template a little bit enough into the customized business scope and span, kind of like what you see here with the bowling terminologies, the phrases, the accomplishments and everything like that, making sure that that's specific to the organization and planned around them. So I think that would be basically the partnership where we'd be kind of doing that consulting role, talking to them with that copy paste template that we would own, that we would bring into the discussion, and then we would apply it to the businesses in town that be willing to participate and willing to help out. And depending on the scope and scale, it can scale depending, but that would be an overtime thing to see how
Because
well.
in my head, there's like four, like kind of what Gail's saying, like there's like 4 different ways that I feel like we could go about it. Like we could make a month where then we go to the businesses and say, would you like to, offer something for the month?
Yeah.
Because the other thing that comes into this is then businesses are like, well, is this all free? So are we gonna ask them to do like, hey, for the month of June, say?
Yeah.
The Newington EDC is gonna be promoting
A business. Yeah.
a business, not all the businesses to go try something in 1 month. No, 1 month, different
It's one
business
hobby.
every month.
The
To
topic
try
is a
to
hobby that could
Gotcha.
span multiple businesses in the town. So for example, I don't know if there are multiple businesses in the town that span a certain hobby, but it wouldn't be diversified spread that thin. It would be like, Thanksgiving or November would be bowling, bowlerama, like pickleball. I think we have 2 places coming up in town. So
Yeah.
something like that would be that month of May or whatever would be
To
pickleball in
introduce
the
people
businesses.
to
Yeah, so
Okay.
the idea is that, and then you would have achievements between the businesses as well. Like if you go to one, go to the other kind of thing, is the hope that you could kind of,
Gotcha.
it's promoting the hobby, that centralized thing of belonging with that like associating with that, but then kind of through the mechanism of the businesses in town, and then also through the template or like how you're getting people in is through that template that we have. That makes
Okay,
sense.
that's the part I had missed. So that's the key part, that 1 month would be
Dedicated to that
hobby.
hobby, that kind of thing that that business may specialize in or be more familiar with or be, you know, specialized in themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, I did just look up Meetup because you're right, it has a very similar flavor. And on Meetup, I just went into Newington and somebody has something organized at Bolorama for this Friday, and there's 23 people going.
So it may be very well received.
So, you know, so here's the idea. So my only question to you in your mind, Jonathan, is who would manage this? And what kind of
yeah.
structure are you talking? Because like,
Yeah.
again, going to the Meetup idea, we could sign up for this and put our event and have them support this idea, but where do you see this living, or how are people signing up? Like, because we're gonna need someone to manage this whole program.
I think, yeah, I think it really determines on the collaboration with the business. So like, I would want to talk to them about how they reach their current people, how they would want to reach, what avenues they haven't tried or what they have tried and not reached, you know, or that's been successful, what's been failing in those efforts to reach and do outreach. Yeah, I don't think it has to be anything that complicated or detailed. I think it really can just be almost like achievement tracking, almost just creating that template of figuring out what achievements do you want people to be aware of? How do you want to track them? How do you want to post them? How do you want to manage them? And I think it's just a collaboration of marketing of, you know, this committee and this commission, we would post those online. We would try to share those and be proud of them and the accomplishments that happen and people hitting certain milestones in the month with the business, and the business would do that on their end through their social media, through their own mechanisms. So I don't think it's anything that is like a software specific thing. I think you can use anything really, even like a Google Sheets or Excel wouldn't be too off base for it. So I think it's just more of working with the business to figure out the best way that they would want to do it.
Yeah.
And working on their marketing and their outreach and trying to make sure that it is as not limiting, but like it reduces as many barriers to entry as possible for them. Just an idea right now.
Yeah, no,
Or, you know, if that doesn't work out quite the way you think, you know, maybe EDC sponsors stuff through this,
Yeah.
through the meetup.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
let-
you guys do events at different places.
yeah, let me look into the Meetup. Not that that's your goal, but
Hmm.
maybe that's what we use just to
piggyback.
to throw, yeah,
Yeah.
to throw spaghetti on the wall and figure out if it takes for, you know, we'll pick a business and I mean, if this is all agreeable for everybody, and see what that looks like and how to organize it and see, like we just did with the passport, get the feedback and
Well, if that
adjust the
structure already
sales.
exists, we can save ourselves some of the development and take the idea and run with something. Take a different angle or magnify what's already there, focused.
And what I'm thinking to communicate is we would create a Facebook page for free. I love the F word, free. And have everybody sign up that, you know, communicate that way,
Yeah.
you know, and post
Interesting.
scores and, hey, I got a turkey at Bolorama, or, hey, I'm gonna go over and play checkers over at Tabletop, who's in, Wednesday night, you know, like,
Yeah. I mean, I'd love it if it could scale to something as amazing as like some of what I've seen from online video games and whatnot like that, where you can actually see and track leadership boards or something like that. That would be amazing if it could be at that
well,
potential.
that's why I'm thinking the first thing, my knee-jerk reaction goes to social
Yes.
media, because everyone hopefully has something like that and
Yeah.
it can access it, and again, it's free. So considering our budget, you know, we would just need people to man that, and monitor that, and so.
Yeah.
Dee, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking a lot.
I think it's a good topic to have and discussion. You probably want to at least get through the
Yeah.
passport thing
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
It's,
Because like my first reaction is I love just Hobby Odyssey. And then it makes me think of like explore Newington, all the hobbies Newington has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were, you know, able to talk to all the businesses, from bowling to ice skating to yoga to, you know, any kind of a hobby, tabletop games, pickleball, all those types of things. And we were just able to ask, you know, how could you open your doors to the community and let them try out the hobby and things like that? But,
And I'm actually thinking, even if we did it, I know, you know.
I get nervous when we start talking about, not nervous, but I don't know what the word is, with the social media, right? Like we just got, permission to not even post on Newington's.
Well,
Oh,
this would-
by the way, we have access to an email. We don't yet, but we have
It's gonna
permission.
go through me.
We have permission to have an email.
Well, this wouldn't be the Newington EDC Facebook page. This would be what the Hobby Odyssey
Yeah.
Facebook page. So that's why I'm saying if we're gonna go ahead, and again, I love the idea that Eric has, this is like, let's take the holidays and think about it and come back
Yeah.
together in
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
And
Because-
Hunter has his hand raised too, so he
Oh,
Oh,
probably.
yes, Hunter, talk, please.
So first of all, I think it's an amazing idea. I love seeing the diversity of it. I love seeing, the potential of it, especially on the marketing side of things. My brain is already going, 1,000 miles a minute here. But I think it's boiled down to that it's a promotion of tourism for Newington, not only for the locals, but for people outside of Newington. There are things to do here. And so I think there's the potential for social media campaigns that can be more blanketed. Here's the things you can do here. Here's keywords that you can find here, things to do in Newington. So even if at the very base level, it is a promotion of tourism, I think this is a great discussion that we can have.
Yeah.
Eric, what is our
said.
sort of policy on we obviously have a budget and a spend that we have for the year. Is there anything that we have to discuss? We wanted to put some of that aside for marketing? Is that something we discuss as a unit?
Yeah, you guys should.
What a great segue, Hunter.
Yes, I think we'll just take that. Thank you, Hunter.
Where are we?
Yeah, we'll be
Plan
there.
Update. I don't know.
Town planning update.
If you want to talk about the budget, go right ahead.
Okay, thank you, Eric. So we were misinformed. We do not have a budget.
We have to design one.
So great timing because we're on to a new year.
Yeah.
So from what we understand, we are going to be putting in a small ask for, okay, let me back up. This passport, full disclosure, is costing about $1,500. Between the print and the gift certificates. So, I would like to recommend, when do we need to get our numbers to
You
town?
probably need to get me something in the next few weeks, because we are in budget season, so we
So
can,
before our next meeting?
yeah, so we
Okay.
can, I can get something to the town
So
planner,
then
so
you
he
do
can
need to talk about
incorporate.
that today. We need to talk about that then. Okay, so we have 15 minutes. So the passport costs about $1,500 between what we printed and the prizes. I would recommend that we.
May I just jump in here really
Yeah,
quick while you're,
please.
so that means that the business cards that we were talking about getting are off the table. That means the T-shirts that we were gonna get are off the table. We've exceeded our budget. So this leaves us with a big hole and a lot of questions for how we're going to move forward. So great idea. How do we budget for that? So that would be something, Jonathan, if you can get us a number of,
I'm not too sure. I mean, I think right now, per Eric, I think we really should just be discussing it more. I mean, it's not at a actual actionable stage where I think we would be able to even figure out what the costs would be.
So
Okay.
my recommendation between the passport,
Hmm.
which sounds like we're all in agreement, we want to do again next year in a bigger, better way. And the potential for another project and possibly, let's just call it X with a question mark project, which would just be potential at this point. I would ask for 5,000.
well, even the forum. Remember, we have the forum on here to discuss anything. So, I mean, even that could be in the budget. We were talking about coffee.
Well, that's not gonna, no,
Is there gonna be a rental? I know we talked about locations. Some of them are free, some of them are not. So I'm just tossing it
I have
out.
no idea, but that's why I'm putting out 5,000.
I agree.
And tell me how detailed we would have to break that down for the town council, Eric?
It's really, it's gonna be a line item under the planner's budget.
Mhm.
Like he has one for conferences and.
So I don't have to do
education
a
and
whole budget
training.
of passport and it's 1,500 and this and we can
Yeah,
just say.
you may want to just sketch
get
something
5.
out,
Okay,
just to, you just
General.
shoot me an email, just, yeah, like, whatever, you know.
so
Printing.
passport would be
You could-
1,500.
You could say, printing, marketing, just, generality type of thing, so you're not like,
Okay,
Yeah,
But
we're tossing.
if those are the numbers you're looking for.
okay.
And then, budgets do typically get reduced somewhat during going through the process, so just,
So to this committee, we are going to ask for 5,000. Does that make sense to everybody?
Well, I think what Eric just said is usually what we ask for. We don't get there's a whittling down.
Yeah.
So I think we should ask for just a little bit more,
7,500.
in the negotiation part of it.
Okay,
Was everybody in agreement with that?
7,500?
I agree.
We're thinking of asking for
you for guidance on
7,500. Cause if we ask for 7,500, we might get 5,000.
Might get 4.
Submit the request.
Yeah, submitter, exactly, that's the way it is. I mean,
Okay,
Because if we do get extra money, we can get business cards, we can get shirts. Believe me, we'll find a way to use the money.
yes.
if,
Yeah.
it may, Paul may question it, so that's what I'm saying, get some general
Okay,
ideas of, just
What
don't
we-
say this is what we
an
want.
outline, but not.
Kind of like, hey, okay, we need X for printing, we need, for marketing.
This would be our ideal
Websites,
wish list.
whatever.
Yeah, this
Okay.
Right.
would
That's
be
a good
what
way
we,
to say it.
our ideal wish list.
okey doke.
I can
And maybe
provide some
prioritize.
minimum monthly numbers for, if we want to do social media advertising or things like that, I can try and get you those numbers as well.
Okay, thank you, Hunter. Okay, any questions? All right. So we're good. Anything else with the Honda Odyssey? Cause I kind of just ended up hijacking that. a
Not the
little.
Honda.
Hobby.
Odyssey,
Hobby.
Is that what I said? I said Honda Odyssey.
That was.
That was good? That was my brain right there.
Happy Honda days.
That was my brain.
Honda days. Can we get them to sponsor?
Yeah, there you go. Boom. That
Oh
was
my
too
God,
easy.
that's so funny.
We're live. It's in perpetuity.
Okay.
Jonathan, back.
Any other new business?
Great idea, by the way.
Great,
Thank you.
great idea.
Sparked a lot of
So we're gonna
conversation.
leave that on, so that'll be on old business next
Yep.
month, right? And we can go from there.
I mean, just, if anybody has any ideas about that, let's email, if something, you go home and, like Hunter said, your brain starts working, you start chomping on stuff.
Yeah.
Like, let's put it out there. Let's get some ideas down before
We'll
we come
collect
to the
them all.
meeting.
Yeah.
So we can come down and have some.
Or
of
if you
these-
wanna, run something by tabletops or Bolorama, because those are two like clear,
Yeah.
Established, yeah.
Yeah.
like no brainers, and see, and bring us back anything, we'd
Yeah.
love to go from there.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Awesome.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bicycle club.
Cyclists. That'd be amazing.
Mm.
Like a Tour de France, but Tour de Newington.
There you
dun,
go.
dun, dun, why not? Okay, any
Now it's
other
coming.
new business? Okay, town planning update, is that Eric?
Yes.
Okay.
What you got?
There is, as many of you have probably seen, there is a banner up on the old Big Lots store.
What does it say?
Believe it's Ollie's Bargain Basement.
Oh.
So, and they're taking over a lot of the, old Big Lots.
Okay, gotcha.
So no time frame on when they're moving in or what, I think it says coming soon right now.
Hmm.
So that will be moving forward. We, planning and zoning, we have received an application for, the Scottish Rite Temple and the Shriners Temple they're gonna be demoing one of the, or they've already demoed the one building and they're gonna build a new building there.
By Walmart, that
Yep.
one? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, if you haven't driven by, it was all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Oh,
some
wow.
construction going on, yes.
One of those buildings newer?
They kept the newer building.
Oh,
They
okay.
demoed the older one and they're,
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry, I
that's-
have.
no,
to
that's
drive by
fine.
now. Okay.
and they'll be doing some things there.
You
Nothing
can
big.
see, depending, if you go behind it, you can see right to the hotel now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Last month, there were 7 trade names filed at the town clerk's office. For the year, there have been 82. And about 30 of them appear to be a home-based type of business.
Okay.
Just as an informational type of situation.
Yeah.
Almost 1/3. Okay.
Prime Burgers sold also.
Oh,
I was in there right after they sold.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Just
I've
as
been
a,
manager.
Okay, okay.
just as a point of interest. I don't know if their hours seem to have been tweaked a bit as well by there. As far as the, as discussed, a couple of you, the master plan, yes, they're gonna be in the Mary Market there on Friday night. There is a thing on Monday night as well, and then there's also another one, is it on Monday next week? At the senior center during the day. So I will be at that one during the day on Monday at the senior center. And either Paul and myself will be the one on Monday night, or just Paul. Paul will be there Friday night. I will not be. So yeah, it's the same kind of things, the questions that they're gonna ask if you were at the Waterfall Festival or by there. It's a lot of the same kind of stuff, and I think they've tweaked some things a little bit and move forward so they can get more data to collate and, see what the potential uses are. As far as the Hartford Hospital property, I have no idea what their timeline is for selling. I suspect that they are going to be waiting until what that final master plan is and says, because there could be some zoning regulation amendments to tweak some things. There's probably gonna be some rezoning that would be required. There will be rezoning be required for that property anyway, because it's zoned as public land right now. So there's not a whole lot a developer can do by just coming in and buying that, because they would have to rezone it. Because
Yeah,
public
no
land
matter
has
what.
specific uses, hospitals, community type of things, different stuff like that, public utilities, So that will all have to occur, and when that is, that'll be their time frame. They're gonna be watching to see how it goes and see what text amendments or new zones or overlay districts may be recommended that the TPZ accepts and moves forward with as well. So we get the master plan, and it's still gonna get reviewed by TPZ, and it might be a couple of months before they enact some of those things, if they choose to do so, some of the recommendations, or if they just kind of take a wait and see approach with how the marketing of the property goes. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I think that's about it. If anybody has any questions, I will certainly answer what I can.
What about the property where the old TGI Fridays is? I know we talked about that last month, and there's no movement on that?
Hungry Bowl has pulled permits. I haven't seen any activity in there recently.
Okay. I
But
was just wondering.
And Keeney Building, anything?
No.
Mhm.
I have sent someone who's worked with an attorney, somebody that's working with them, some historical zoning regulations and zoning maps. So they can look at some of how it was zoned originally and some other uses that may or may not have been there at the time.
And I'm sorry, Monday, the 9th, the meeting that's gonna happen here, is that 6 o'clock?
6:30.
6:30.
6:30? Thank you, I'm gonna be here for that.
Will you send me a text to remind me since I don't have my phone?
Yes.
Thank you.
You'll have to ask questions.
I'm taking questions that I can answer, sure.
Boston Chicken now?
Yep.
And there's activity, but are there any plans?
There's nothing has been submitted to us at this point in time.
I did
Oh.
actually reach out to them in regards to somebody else, and they were looking for 10,000 a month. And
Sounds right.
they were, I don't think anybody's going in just yet.
Okay.
So it's still being marketed.
They've told me of 2 tenants that they were working with, neither has come to fruition that I'm aware of.
Bob's clothing store closed, right?
Correct.
And
No,
it's gonna be but not yet, right?
it's a Stickley Furniture right now.
Oh,
There has,
What's
they
that,
have,
like a pop-up, like they're only temporary?
they're only temporary. They're only gonna be here through February for some reason.
Okay.
It
February.
was just the holiday season.
Pickleball, yes, the owner has attempted to make they filed an application with nothing. He just said, I want to do pickleball. Said, well, there's a lot of other things you have to go through. So we're waiting on, they're probably just waiting because they know they have a tenant in there right now. They'll probably bring forth everything they need closer. But that will require a public hearing because it's a place of physical activity, so, and a special permit through the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Is there a chance you could explain, like, there are different places that open up on the pike, for instance, the new My Home Kitchen and Bath place that went in the Fastenal building? There was no notification of anything. How does that happen?
It depends on the use. So if it's a retail use, it's allowable in the zone. It's not, if it's what triggers a special permit, if you read through our regulations, different types of things trigger different types of special permits.
they
Those-
don't have to notify
those-
the town.
those
because
all-
Like if I move, nobody's gonna know.
She doesn't need
They
permission.
better care, but.
Well,
There'll be no
she may need
notification.
permission.
If
Here's,
it's a-
here's the
Oh,
thing.
gosh.
Yes.
Tell me now.
She may. So if you're going from one store here, you sell appliances, and you're moving over here to a store that does something completely different, you're at least gonna have to get a change of use permit as long as that use is allowed within the zone. It's a zoning permit, $15. Newington is very cheap on permits. We are.
Oh,
Building permits, everything. So, and different type of activities, places of physical activity, any auto-related use requires a special permit and a public hearing, different things like that. So
Yeah, when I took over the yoga studio, perfect example, it was a yoga studio, so there was no,
there's no issue.
unless if I wanted to put a restaurant in there, then we have an issue.
Bingo.
I'm gonna sell coffee. and really
Jim's
good
on to that one.
donuts.
yeah, really.
Somebody might pay you a visit if you tell it.
Yeah, somebody
Yeah.
named Jim.
Like when Dunkin' Donuts moved over there too, they had to have.
Yeah.
What's
Right,
that-
because
that big
that was
billboard
another,
next to bank,
well,
yeah.
that was a bank with a drive-through. And the regulations as they were written at the time, restaurant drive-throughs were not allowed in the town center. So we did a regulation change, they had to go through a public hearing,
Right.
because they've wanted that site for a while. And Pizza Hut even, wanted that site, and they got very far down the line, until I told them, I said, you can't have a drive-through here. Oh, and then they just walked away. And
So you
that's
need
what-
someone with a really good fight in them. I have a question for you in regards to signage. On the Berlin Turnpike,
Mhm,
the Laser Max Plaza,
mhm.
the nail place where I get my nails done. She knows I'm in real estate and she asked me how she gets a sign up there on that. Does she have to, she just has to go to the landlord?
Landlord has to sign all permits. That building is maxed out on its signage. She can replace what she has. She can't get anything bigger.
But can she, if she wanted to be on the post? Okay,
I've had many conversations with Brixmore about this. I can talk to you after the meeting.
okay,
There you go.
I don't know how that works. Okay, okay.
Okay, any other for the town planning updates?
No, thank you, Eric. That's all.
And the
great
master
information.
plan. Wonderful. Public participation. Come on down.
The next contestant.
All righty.
We're so scary.
Mm.
Floor 258 Audubon Avenue. Good evening, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your holiday and you are staying warm. It is far too cold out there. So just a few things I just wanted to say about the passport. I think it's gone phenomenally well. I just want to thank all of you for your hard work pulling that together, whether it's been the design or the distribution or the matching of stamps to restaurants, as I got to
Thank
see
you
up
for
close and
helping him
personal.
out.
It was very cool. And I want to add that for those businesses that I did get the chance to hand out some passports to, it started a conversation about what businesses expect and ought to deserve from the town in terms of their support. I heard from one business owner who said, "Hey, I'm one of the oldest businesses in Market Square, and you're the first person from the town of Newington who's ever stepped foot in my business. And I feel like they don't even know that I exist in here. And people go off to neighboring towns to use the same business, and I don't even come to mine." And so it put in perspective, and she was not the only one, that we ought to do more to support our small businesses. We all know that, but we certainly ought to do more to make sure that we know they exist and give them the support they need when they reach those big milestones, because they're making an investment in us, in our town, and they could go anywhere else. So I just wanted to say that and add that. In terms of some of the discussion that was had, I think having some kind of discount or something like that, encouraging businesses to offer that is great. I would say, I hope that it wouldn't be required. I know there are some businesses who would just like to have that traffic and maybe don't get a ton of business themselves and are just grateful for a couple of extra bodies in the door.
Definitely wouldn't discount.
Sure. Well, sure. That too, I guess. Well, he might have some money to spare, but just the same. Yeah, I think you're right.
Diamond for you, a sapphire.
That's right. But just wanted to mention that. And then as far as the Hobby Odyssey idea, Jonathan, I think it's such a cool idea. And I think you're right on the money in terms of particularly young people not feeling like there's a lot to do in town a lot of the time. I heard that a lot when I was growing up, and I know that it's an endemic thing, and I think it can start a larger conversation about using this commission to create some community, whether that's through a monthly event at a business or like a cocktail hour or something like that, hosted by the EDC. I know the chamber has great success with doing businesses like that. That's a model I'm sure that could be imported, or whether it's talking about some larger kind of promotional map of do it here in Newington, kind of like Hartford has it, whatever it is, celebrating the great stuff that we have here in town. I should mention as far as that work goes, on the cultural district side, which Gail is also part of, we've been talking about things like that in the bounds of that district, some kind of promotional map and things like that. And we're going to get some support from the state of Connecticut when we move forward with that cultural district designation to build items like that. So could perhaps provide some really cool templates and maybe a nice brand identity for the town that we can use for stuff like this. So just ongoing conversations, but I'm happy to support anytime, that. So reach out anytime. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. You gave me an idea maybe the EDC needs to celebrate some businesses' anniversaries or something like that. Because that's something the chamber was always good at our annual meeting. We would do 5, 10, 50, and.
So this goes back to the
nice.
same problem we had when I first joined. When we first joined, we don't have a master list of businesses because they don't have to register. So in order for us,
How would we find?
Like, we don't even know when their anniversaries are. I just wrote it down.
say it again? It's not. They're not. They're not all registered. They're,
Paying taxes.
it's not as easy as you think it is.
Be paying taxes.
So it's a little more complex, and maybe that's still something we have to look into so that nobody feels slighted or left out. But there are holes in the list. Again, we've had a few conversations about this, and it's in an imperfect system right now. So
It's just tough, and the chamber has the same situations, like brick and mortar gets more attention than the people that are, don't
have
have
it.
brick and
Yeah.
mortar.
I will tell you, Patrick, we're having huge emphasis on cottage this year.
Yeah,
So we are going after cottage industry businesses that are there, to
Chamber.
try to get them, out in the forefront, give them some presence, so.
yeah,
That has happened. As a matter of fact, Eric mentioned the trade names they could pull. We get notification of those.
Yep.
And we take those, they are now getting an invitation to join the chamber. Every time that we get those, we're reaching out to them either physically or.
I have the trade names from 2021 on. I have them all each year. So if you ever need the list, I can bump that out to
I
you.
guess it's a way to
Right.
start. I think
it's just,
send me some,
it's a great list, and then we'd have to,
tweak it.
It's
Or-
just
and
something
keep it
like you just
updated.
said, a third is
Yeah.
at home
base.
businesses and it's like, do they want to be bothered? Do they not want, like,
I mean, you know, this could be a collaboration between EDC and the chamber.
yeah,
We get Kathy.
We've
you know,
had those
involved
conversations, yeah.
In being that conduit of data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can, our membership team can get involved and try to help build that and collect, you know, names that we can trade back and forth. So,
definitely.
AJ's online. He would like to speak.
Hi, AJ.
Hello.
Are you there?
Hey guys, hi there.
Hello.
Hi, so AJ Tiniakos, 129 Rosalie Ave. I just want to pop in. I want to just emphasize pretty much what Matt said. Sounds like the passport was or is a really good success. So just congratulations. I think it's awesome. I love the hobby idea. I'm a big fan of tabletop, so getting those guys involved in stuff is like, awesome in my book. So just wanted to pop in, say that I love what you guys are doing. I love the energy behind the committee right now. So just keep it up and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Eric, come on, you get one too.
Thank you.
Any other public participation? Okay, commissioner comments. Any commissioner comments?
Yeah, I think with this first, yeah, I can't wait to hear the, feedback from the passport, but more importantly, I can't wait to pick the winners and really
Have some fun.
have a little bit of fun. That's the whole reason, so
Yeah, I can't wait for Friday.
Yes.
it'll be fun.
Are you coming by?
Yeah, I'll be
Okay, cool.
there.
Oh. I was like, hopefully I'm not too far from Hounded Home if I need to like run inside and get warm. That's what I'm thinking of. Commissioner comments. I am looking forward to Friday. I think the passport, very fun, something for people to get out and do. I think we have some great things leading to make it even better for next year. I'm excited to be working on the master plan and hopefully we can get some really good things going for Newington. So great.
We're at a neat point. We're at a very neat point to be part of this at this time.
Yep,
I'm
and we
kind of
got a
excited.
fresh new year coming, so let's do it right.
Good stuff.
All right. Can I have a
you.
motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Awesome.
All in favor?
Um,
Have a great holiday, everybody.
Ooh.
Yay.
See you soon.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, all right. Bye, hon.